Pollsters and political pundits are trying to sort out what Lisa Murkowski's decision will mean when voters return to the polls in November.
Now, joining us from our Channel 2 newsroom is Jean Craciun, President and CEO of Craciun Research Group. Jean, thanks a lot for joining us this evening.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Mike.
So what's your overall reaction to Lisa Murkowski's decision to launch this write-in campaign? Bottom line, does she have a shot at winning?
Well, this is politics at its best. Alaskans love to vote for the individual, and I think a lot of people believe that they really did not have a chance to vote for her. With the closed Republican primary, individuals after the election were, I thought she was a shoo-in. I really predicted she had no problems. She was shocked. The voters were shocked. I think at this point it's the Alaska right to vote for the individual they really want to, and they're going to have a chance to now.
And so, possible scenarios, does she split the Republican vote and help the Democratic candidate, or does she snatch some of the moderate voters away from the Democrats?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I think this vote will be won by the 53% no party undecided middle of the road. So if you look at that middle, how many voters are there in the far extreme to the right? I mean, he is going to need to get 50,000 more votes than he got in the primary. I predict they will need 100,000 votes to win this election. And if you look to the left and say, okay, we have Scott there, and will he be pulling from the middle? Who will own the middle is the person, in my opinion, who will win this race.
Well, even after his passing, the late Senator Ted Stevens seems to be playing a role in this race. Both candidates evoked quotes from him this evening. Do you think that Lisa Murkowski trying to use the memory of Ted Stevens with support, obviously, of the Stevens family, or apparently so, will make a difference in this race?
Well, Stevens clearly was all about Alaska and what was right for Alaska. And having Lisa so connected to him, she was literally nurtured, trained, brought forth, taught about the Senate. We have an 8-year sitting senator there who has paid her dues and is saying, I'm not done yet, and I want a chance to make sure that Alaskans have their right to vote, and that's why she's in there now. Now, a write-in candidate is very unusual, and so we'll be getting national attention again for this, but with a well-known name and the way the write-in works, that you actually can, intention of the voter is primary. If it's not completely written out, if you have an inclination that that was what the voter, it's very loose in terms of a lot of leeway for the voter and what their intention was in the write-in. So it will be a really fun campaign and a fun race, because can't you just imagine, it's all about the write-in.
Yeah.
Well, you said this is politics at its best. What about the mood of this, the upcoming campaign? I mean, do we see this getting a little bit nastier as we get into it?
Well, I think, some of us wanted to see some debate and some challenges in the primary, and it was rather shocking that things just were pretty much assumed she was going to win. Then by the end there was a shocking attack and no reaction, and not even any use out of respect for Senator Ted recently had passed, and so not using anything she could have used in terms of footage with him or connecting to him or how she was learned by him. And so I think we'll see some of that this time. I think we'll see an 8-year sitting senator come forward and let the Alaskans know what is the true Alaskan spirit and how we can pull our state and our country back together.
Well, Lisa Murkowski said the gloves are coming off, and Joe Miller tonight seems like he's in this, he means business in this campaign, so we'll see what happens.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Jean Craciun, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Megan and Mike.